Good morning. Today we are moving on to CO29. I can identify and create patterns. So we have numerical patterns. They describe and extend a numerical pattern. Find a relationship between the first and second numbers. Then see if the relationship is true for the second and third numbers, the third and fourth numbers, and so on. These are the things that we're doing in our math packets. Every math packet we have the figures. How is it changing from figure 1 to figure 2 to figure 3? Those are those patterns. Ryan.
Is this what's in like the pre-algebra packet?
Well, it's in the packet that you have. Well, that last page is that logic page.
Yeah.
It's similar to that.
Okay.
But we do patterns in every packet. We do those numerical patterns.
Oh, yeah.
So when we have the figures,
yeah.
how many blocks are in figure 1, how many are in figure 2. So we work with those patterns all the time. So, in the pre-algebra packet, they did have a different page of patterns, so it's going to be similar. So, extending a numerical pattern, you have to describe the pattern. So, if we have 2, 7, 12, 17, what is the pattern? What pattern do you see there? If we go from 2 to 7 to 12 to 17, Aiden, what's the pattern? Yeah, it's going up by 5 each time. Knowing that, can you write the next 3 numbers?
Yeah.
What would they be?
23, 22.
22, then what?
27. 32.
Yeah, so if we're adding 5 each time, we can continue the pattern. So the first step to finding a numerical pattern is being able to describe it. What is changing? Extending a numerical pattern, our second example, describe the pattern 2, 6, 18, 54. What is happening there? What is our pattern? Adrian?
It's being multiplied by 3.
Yeah, we're multiplying by 3 each time. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 times 3 is 54. Then write the next 3 numbers. What comes next? Do the math. Who can tell me what's our next number? Bria? 162. 54 times 3 is 162. What's our next number? Brian?
486.
162 times 3 is 486. Now let's try doing it without the calculator. Tell me the next number.
Oh no.
Mia?
1,458. No, I haven't read it. She's actually right.
1,458. This pattern is growing quite big. We only had to do 3. So we did our 3 numbers. Shh. So if you can find what the rule is, describing that pattern, find the rule, you can continue your pattern. The first thing is finding the rule. Describe your pattern. Anna.
We don't, this table doesn't have that paper.
Oh, did you guys get missed?
What?
Shh. Oh, when we passed out the papers, they got missed. Gabby, where did you? Oh, here they are. Okay, let's look at a visual pattern. You need to, this is what you saw in that pre-algebra math packet. Some of us were looking at it. Instead of a numerical pattern, it had a visual pattern to it. So can you say what the next shape would look like?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
I can. I get it now.
What do you think would be the next shape, Nolan?
The first shape.
Do you think it's going to start repeating itself?
Yes. Yes.
Why? Describe to me why.
Well, because there's no more corners for it to fit in.
So we went from the right corner
Yep.
to the left bottom left,
Yeah.
upper left, upper right. So it kind of makes sense that next would be the bottom right.
Mm-hmm. Am I right or am I wrong? You're right.
All right, let's look at our next one. I need to scroll up.
No.
What would our next pattern, our next figure look like in our pattern? Who can come up and draw it for me? Brielle. Very good. So we look at our pattern. On the bottom row, we had 1, then we had 2, then we had 3, then we had 4, then we have 5. And it goes up into that pyramid from that. So what would our next figure look like? Anthony. So I want you to look at the one that Brielle did. Well, you have, how many does she have on the bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many do you have on the bottom? Yep.
Yeah, I just thought it was.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's erase this one.
Yeah.
It's not so easy using a marker.
Because like my shade is like.
Again, how many do you want on the bottom, Anthony? Good. Yep, that's right. Yep. So what Anthony found is it's not so easy sometimes. You have to really stop and think, am I putting enough on the bottom? If Brielle had put 5 on the bottom for hers, Anthony needed to make sure that he put 6 on the bottom. So you have to always go back and double check. Did I follow the pattern? Okay? Because at first he accidentally was doing the same figure instead of growing the figure. So always double check your work. So today's assignment that we're working on, we're going to be working on those patterns. So we're going to work on, let's see. We are at the very beginning. Page 1.
Page 1. Page 1.
So we're going to say goodbye to our friends at home and wish you a good day.
This is page 1.